request to do, well, I guess it wasn't really a request, I kind of just asked her if she would like if I did it just because I want something to do. And, so, we're gonna do it. Main reason I asked is I realized, you know, a while back she got a Bissell powergroom, and I believe it's the same exact one as this, and recently I have got this one, probably not even a month ago. It's a little dirty and not too horrible, but I just got done, or actually a few days ago, and it's been used a few times since, but I polished, there's two windows. There's this one, the top one, which it will last forever, but then there's one layer before it. I don't know if you guys can tell, there's a bit of a gap between this window and the one next to the brush roll, and you can see right there too. So I just polished that, and I also did the bin and the top piece because it was really hazed. This is a 2011 model. It's kind of beat up. It is the 92 LE-1, 12 amps, made in China. I just put a new belt on there before I decided to use it as the vacuum of the week for my sister, because she gets a different vacuum to use every week. Her spot is right there, that's my spot for whatever vacuum I'm using. Found an extension on a crevice tool for it. That piece broke off, apparently. It was like that when I got it. I got it for free. It was like that when I got it, so I just lightly threaded a screw into there. It's just in there by hand, because I didn't want to make the plastic crack. I need to put it back in there. So, probably gonna have to kind of shop myself out on my little brother channel, because this is my new channel, and well, people might not be aware of it. I already told her this channel's name. One problem is the friction down here is kind of gone, and I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna wrap some like electrical tape or something around there and make it a little bit more tight. This is just here. I put that belt there because like this hose likes to sag, which then just causes that to fall off. So I don't know why that's on there. She's the one that uses it, so she probably did. So I actually use like this car detailer cleaner, and if you rub it in real well, it brings out the nice color. I love the color of this machine, and I love the green with the blue, you know, the green accents. And you just put your finger down there. Yeah, that's like a couple of uses. But what I've done, because this thing is having some motor damage, clearly stuff is getting through this filter. I mean, look at that. So I put this little flimsy rag right there to try and prevent some stuff from coming through. And I'm probably gonna get a new foam piece because this one is just clearly letting stuff through because it's becoming a little more, yeah, and it doesn't seal very well, so I might just silicone this in and then wash it on this piece, but I don't know. Because this has the original motor in it, and I'd like to keep it original. But yeah, I don't know what this is, but it's just there. At least it's there because it looks kind of stupid without it. It's already weird, so. Like I said, I got that. I need to search for a turbo brush because it looks silly without it, and see if I can find a combo tool. Some of the newer Bissells still use that combo tool, I think, like the newer Bissell powergrooms. Actually, I don't even think those are sold anymore. I don't even think newer ones are sold anymore. But yeah, mostly that is what I'm concerned about because it looks really silly. It's got the carrying handle. This thing's pretty lightweight. Has the color matched handle. Has this little thumb stopper thingy. Stretch hose, not the deluxe stretch hose. I think it's got the same exact stretch hose that my Clean View would have. Yeah. 12 amps. Let's get to it. Luckily this pedal release isn't broken. had to take the thing off the base to oil up the mounting points in there, just to make it was like, so I cleaned it out and lubricated it. But yeah, also lubricated the end bearing. I didn't take it down to the motor, I just lubricated it by the belt, which you're technically not supposed to do, but I could care less because it at least made it sound a little better. Because it has like a funky wind down, it goes like when it shuts off, and I don't know if that's the brush roll. I think it is, because I feel like the oil would have stopped that. It kind of sounds like a brush roll thing, but I don't know. Otherwise, it sounds okay. It does have a little bit of funky, it almost just sounds like dry bearings. So, I need to get a bearing puller before I can do any of that. And we're also going to be doing an actual dirt in that room. Got a new bed, decided to put it in this room because this is also part of my room. This used to be the vacuum room, and then this used to be my bedroom. There's going to be a little mess test at the end. Working on my Hoover whole house too. That would be going there because that's the vacuum I use most often. She doesn't really like it, but I love it. It performs really well, but problem is well, I'm working on polishing this window. It's nice and smooth, and then I'm gonna polish the bin as well. And then I don't know what this blue stuff is growing in there. It's always been upstairs. I've never had this one in the basement before, so I don't know what that is. This is also starting to corrode. I don't know why. Gotta pop it out and wet sand it. Almost looks like mold in there. I'm gonna need to oil up these. And this, I think from the last time I oiled it, it's still good. But it was like starting to when it was running, and I hated it. So yeah, oiled that up and it doesn't sound as bad anymore. But yeah, polishing this, and then right here, I couldn't tell if it was a deep scratch or a little crack. So I have this stuff that actually melts the plastic together. But yeah, it actually kind of welds it together, and it seems to have almost gotten rid of it. You can't even see it anymore. And then once it's completely cured, I'm gonna wet sand it, and you'll never know it was there. Yes, I put a lot of effort into a plastic piece of shit. And then also, I'm gonna be washing the hose because it's looking pretty bad. I usually just soak them for a little while with some laundry detergent in them, but in this case, it might need a little more than that. Once that's done, probably gonna start working on this shark. It was my daily driver for a while, and now it's filthy. Also need to work on that. I've got a couple new vacuums that you guys haven't seen. We got the Hoover Legacy Caddyvac Classic 3. 2 Omegas, one's kind of butchered, and then that one's original. Heritage 2 still, G4. But yeah. Classic 3 came with the hose, which is right there, and a bunch of other shit, and it's just I don't have a spot for it. And I also got a Eureka ESP. That Natural Dirt Queen's gonna be excited about that because she loves the crunchiness, and that thing's got some of the best crunch sounds ever. Plus, it has beautiful vacuum lines. But yes, here we go. Oh, another thing I had to do is this latch here is broken. So, I just put a screw through here, put a piece of wood for the screw to go into, so, because the plastic wasn't going to be that much. Put the wood there, then trimmed it off right here, and I accidentally scuffed that a little bit, but whatever, when I was using my Dremel to cut it. But, yeah, doesn't actually look that bad, and at least it gives it something for that screw to hold on to. I just didn't want to spend any money on this thing, and at least it holds my HEPA filtration in there, because the HEPA filter was still good, it's just the cover was broken. yeah, I don't know what that is, but the reason I haven't taken it down to the motor is because we're gonna take this whole blue section off to get to some hidden screws, and there was something else. Then you gotta take this whole section behind that plate right there, which I've had off before, just to clean out the clog that was in there when I got it. And it doesn't, I feel like the more I take that off and on, the more it's not gonna seal. So yeah. Surprisingly, in some ways it's in bad shape, in some ways it's in good shape. The cord's in good shape. It's got a nice long cord. What is it, like 35? Yeah, 35-foot cord, which is really impressive, actually. Because what are they normally, like 20, 23, 25 foot? So 35 is more than enough for this house, because we have outlets all over the place, first of all. And another thing is, this house isn't really that long, it's just tall. You know, this way it's not that much, and that way there's a lot. But we have outlets, so yeah. So I think if my sister's gonna keep using this for the rest of the week, because actually what we were supposed to be using until Saturday, or what she was gonna be using was the V2, but it only made it to, yeah, it only made it to Friday, I think. So this one's been getting used for today. Actually, no, actually, that thing quit on Thursday. What happened is, if you guys go back on my old channel, I did a video how I fixed this side, the brush holes that are all messed up and they have the spindle has nothing left to grab onto. And I just used a grout to kind of almost use, it's like concrete. And it worked for a while. Like, I got a lot of use out of that. And then the last thing I used was just silicone, and it seems to be holding up. But it's probably gonna get a break for a while. I'm gonna deep clean it, and yeah. This thing I want to deep clean too. Luckily, it's not that hard. And then the Victory, I also took that down to the motor. To the motor, I mean, like, I literally had the motor completely out of the body. My sister even got to hold it. She was in her room with the motor, and the vacuum was in here. It sounds a lot better. Finally found the proper bags. You guys probably know that I've been making bags for it for a while now. And, yeah, works a lot better now that it doesn't have glue holding the bag together. I got this pack of bags for $1 at my local Do It Best. $1 for 2 isn't too bad. They're just cheesy little paper bags, but yeah. So I lubricated this motor. The end bearing I lubricated, and that's about it, because you can't lubricate the end bearing from the inner side of it. You can only lubricate it from the belt side. And then the front bearing, or the left bearing, you can't really get to without dismantling the whole motor. So, and then I also cleaned off the fan blades, and this thing actually does sound a bit better. Also polished the window on this, so it's somewhat clear now. Just gave this one a deep clean as well. Cleaned out the all this, the seal in here for the the transmitter, the valve was really dirty, and that would explain why when it was on this. Plus, it was like not seating in there right, so that would explain why when it was on floor it was still getting a decent amount of suction at the hose. So yeah, now it has no suction at the hose when you put it on floor, and it has plenty of suction at the hose when you put it on hose. So yeah, and this Eureka ESP came with a 2-pack of belts, which actually this thing came from Virginia, but it actually came from our local Do It Best, which is just down the block, so that's kind of cool. Then we got came with the original owner's manual. I'm gonna say this one's around probably a 1990 model. But apparently, and that's the one belt that's left, but they even gave me the Do It Best bag, or the Rubbermaid bag. This thing runs beautifully. It takes a really funky light bulb, and I still need to get one of those for it. Convertible's behind it, that has a new light bulb. When I first got it, it actually wasn't that bad, but this white piece was like really dirty, so I cleaned that, and then also just gave the rest of it a good cleaning. There is a stain on the bag right there that I need to get out. But yeah, that's about it. Then on the G4, I need to wash that bag because it's starting to get kind of smelly, even though it has a brand new paper bag in it. Heritage 2, that one's running fine. It has a brand new fan and brush roll in it, resealed and everything. Then that Omega there runs fine, and then the Omega next to that, that one with the red bumper, which is a totally classic 3 head. And it also has a classic 3 piggy bank panel back there. So it's not, it kind of looks like a classic Omega. It is a classic Omega, but a classic 3 Omega. Omega 3. So yeah. This one has a replacement bag, but it's a genuine Kirby bag. But yeah, it's been polished. It looks a lot better when it's wiped off. But then this one's also been polished. And so has the Heritage 2. That one hasn't. That one's only been wet sanded with 400 grit. Which is kind of a heavy grit, but it was really bad. But yeah, let's see how much we picked up and let's see how much worse that filter looks. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to vacuum that tonight so that when she uses it tomorrow, it'll maybe function. Because, yeah, that's pretty bad. So I'm also gonna have to do something with that loose hose so it doesn't, because I wouldn't be surprised. She's kind of weird. She's kind of, she probably didn't realize that that thing kept falling out, because it kept falling out during both of these rooms. So, man, how this cyclone actually seems reasonable, and it's not catching much. So I feel like something ain't right here. At least this filter's catching easy motor damage. But yeah, see how much is getting wet? What is that? That is actually like sand. And a carpet powder, and I haven't used carpet powder for months. So this thing's just a really good deep cleaner, I guess. Look how bad this window already is. Actually, sounds like the belt's hitting something. Sounds like the belt's hitting the side of the base, like the little metal protector thing. Yeah, I'm glad I have this in here, but I need to get something better that doesn't have holes in it. Yeah, shit. And see, stuff is getting past too. Oh. I just wiped this out. We'll see how much is making it past the filter. Oh. Alright, well, I'm gonna have to figure out a way to try and keep this filter clean for longer and keep shit from going into the motor. Because, yeah, again, original 12 amp motor still sounds okay, and if I can keep it that way, that'll be nice. Yeah. See how much I picked up. Obviously, actually, not all that is from the mess test. I actually picked up a bit of fine dust. And carpet powder. I have not used carpet powder in months, and I'm not even lying. Look at that. Where did I get that from? What the hell? Yeah, I have not used carpet powder for a while. So I guess this thing actually is a decent deep cleaner. Like, it is picking up a lot of shit. And see, this freaking Cyclone's barely doing anything. Well, I mean, there is quite a bit of dust caked on in there, but this is where all the Cyclone separated dust goes. I mean, like, it's doing stuff. I mean, look how dusty that is. Okay. See, like, it actually, this is actually, like, just a smaller Cyclone, like a smaller version of what's in that Hoover there. Like, it actually seems like it would work. I don't know. weird. So what I want to do is I want to find something that has foam on top and that'll just slide onto this, like a little foam cup that'll slide onto that. Because what I did was I had a rag there, and then I had, that's what that's from. That's the hair tie I was using. And I had a hair tie holding the rag on, and that helped. That thing stayed clean. And a lot more dust was getting separated because it had more, you know, it kind of had to. And it wasn't damaging the suction or anything. Damaging the suction, or, you know, hindering its suction. And, I don't know, it just seemed to help. Great, I just spilled dust all over the place. God, these things are messy. And, yeah, and it seemed to help. So I just need to find a foam cup that can go around that, or something else. Because what happened is it actually got sucked into this back piece, and I had to unscrew it this morning. Because the thing sounded weird, and I'm like, well, there's no clogs in the hose. The filter isn't to the point where it would be making that much of a clog, so I took that off, and sure enough, the rag and hair tie was in there. Because I looked, and I'm like, oh, it's gone. Oh, no, it might be in the motor. And then I'm like, oh, no, it has to go through there. And then, if anything, the filter would stop it from going in the motor, so, yeah. Empty this out. Yeah, that carpet powder surprises me. I don't know where it's getting that from. Because, like, I have not used carpet powder in months. Weird. Grooms pretty nicely. The only thing is a lot of these cheaper vacuums, they seem to actually flatten it instead of fluffing it. They, like, flatten it. So, it's kind of weird. Like, that's what they're doing. They're literally just flattening it instead of fluffing it like that. But the V2 actually fluffs it real nice. Oh, hey, that actually looks reasonably clear. So, also, wherever the brush roll, it's right there. Clean the brush roll. Might need to figure out how to get the end caps off so I can lubricate it. It's got these awesome stiff bristles. It's actually gotten a little softer over the couple of years that I've owned this, but yeah. So that's the first crack type thing I've had happen, and for the most part, it's been an awesome machine. Performs very well. I love the deluxe stretch hose. It's nice and long. It's got the 25-foot cord. Like I said, that's about the average, so it's not necessarily bad. It doesn't have a headlight, which is kind of silly. Almost every new vacuum doesn't have a headlight anymore besides swivel vacuums with their LEDs. But yeah, and Kirby's still have them. Even that Shark doesn't have one. But yeah. Gosh, is that spiral cracking too? Look at that. You see how it's just cracking because of this being like slightly twisted when you tighten it? Man, these clear plastics are really not that good, sadly, but that's why you don't want to do the polishing process too horribly often, because it's stabbing into me right now. Oh. Well, I pulled out the razor knife thinking, oh wow, the knife is stabbing me, ow. And I'm like, there's a piece of wood stuck in there. This is like my favorite knife. You just pop this thing down, and normally your spare blades would be in here. I had a couple in there. Just press that button, and then this thing comes down, and your spare blades will be sitting in there. Pop it back in. Once you got your spare blade, press this. Push your blade out. Oh, wait. Push your blade out, and then press this, and you can actually grab your blade, and then just pop your new one back in. This one's kind of rusty. And you also press this button to put back in. I think I need to like squirt some WD-40 in there or something. never wants to go in there. I don't know why, but... Oh, I don't know. Might have to take it apart. Something could be... Something might be jammed in there. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, might take it down to the motor too, because it doesn't sound bad or anything, but it is good to do. I want this thing to last a while. It was $100, and for me at the time was pretty bad, and even now that would be pretty spendy, so would like it to last a while. Plus I love this thing, so. And when this thing goes, I'm probably gonna maybe try the Hoover Total Home Pet, or I might even try one of those newer Bissell allergen pets, because we do have 2 cats here and they shed a lot, and it would be nice. And I wouldn't mind a swivel, and that shark is ass for pets, so. And yes, it has a swivel, but it's not that good. It's heavy, and it doesn't filtrate very well. You can actually watch this thing spew out dust. I mean, it's got a decent swivel, but... So, he's poking me now. Oh. Oh. It's a piece of wood or something. What the f... I don't even know. But yeah. Dusty, look at that dust spot. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more. Probably put a time stamp in there somewhere for people that just want to see the natural dirt. So yeah. Thanks for watching, and keep tabs on the new channel.